Welcome to Meet the Candidates 2024, a voter education program brought to you by the Shakopee Chamber of Commerce. My name is Tim Zunker, and I'm the president with the Shakopee Chamber and Visitors Bureau. Our hope is that these candidate interviews and profiles will help you, the voter, understand your choices when it comes to the 2024 election. We ask voters to arm themselves with the information necessary to make educated choices and to make casting your vote a priority. Please visit the Shakopee Chamber website at shakopee.org to find out information about the upcoming special. I'm going to start over. I'm reading old notes.
It's all right. I'm all for
It's not a special election.
taking over, so it's
Yeah.
fine.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Meet the Candidates 2024, a voter education program brought to you by the Shakopee Chamber of Commerce. My name is Tim Zunker, and I'm the president with the Shakopee Chamber and Visitors Bureau. Our hope is that these candidate interviews and profiles will help you, the voter, understand your choices when it comes to the 2024 election. We ask voters to arm themselves with the information necessary to make educated choices and to make casting your vote a priority. Please visit the Shakopee Chamber website at shakopee.org to find out more information about the upcoming election for Shakopee School Board. And at this time, I'd like to thank Nick Zitek for joining us today. Start off by telling us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. Thank you, Tim, and thank you to the Chamber of Commerce. I think that this platform you guys offer is great for our community and just to at least get to know each other, so I appreciate that. I'm a lifelong resident of Shakopee. I was born and raised here, a Sabre through and through, went through the school systems here, and actually my wife is also a lifelong resident of Shakopee. So we've got some trenches here, so that is great. I have two daughters, both in the school system right now at Jackson, one starting kindergarten, the other starting third grade. Both of them have been through the ECFE and Stepping Stones classes or programs here in Shakopee, which I highly encourage people to get out and take advantage of. They're fantastic for both students and parents. But after my Sabre career, I moved on to great distances. We traveled all the way down to Mankato, Minnesota. Yeah. Went there, got a bachelor's degree in finance, understudies in business law and business administration. And then I traveled back home to Shakopee and somehow ended up in the insurance business. I've had a couple different levels or mostly on the agent sales and service side. I did a little bit of management for a couple years. And in 2009, decided to start an independent agency, which we own and operate today. I have a great team that works with me that's currently there holding down the fort so I can do things like this. So I'm thankful and grateful for that. My wife, I mentioned before, she's going to be a great asset in this. She's very passionate about the schools and really helps and does a lot of volunteering in some of her free time. And that will assist me in this role. Also, I got involved, my primary involvements in the school systems has kind of been fairly recent. When I learned about the levy and what impact it would have to our school systems and our community, our property values, everything, everything that I love about Shakopee, I kind of got involved a little bit in the Vote Yes committee back in 2021. And then that has led me to other opportunities. And so I've been a part of the District Advisory Council now for a little over a year, where I get a little bit of inner ball information as to things that the school district's doing and things that are to come. So that has been a nice insight. And that's kind of how we landed here.
Great. Well, thank you, Nick.
Yeah.
We'll get into the questions. What motivated you to run for Shakopee School Board? You kind of touched on that, but we'll have you dig a little deeper.
It seemed like the logical next step. I had some encouragement from family and friends that there was an opportunity for this. So that's kind of how we got here. One other passion and thing that has driven me to get here is just assisting in the progress of science-based learning and science-based curriculum. We've kind of been researching and following the READ Act and things that are being implemented in our schools and other schools and along the state. And so having some influence and having the ability to help track, manage, and assist the district in any way and ultimately to take care of our students has been a big part of it. And one other thing was, we made a lot of promises to the community with the levy and everything else. And I just want to have as much influence to make sure that we're living up to those things with class sizes and everything else.
Great. And then the other part of that would be any other goals that you hope to achieve during your term?
Yeah, I mean, I guess in a backwards way, those are kind of some goals that I want to make sure that we're doing is that we're following up on our promises and that we are implementing those strategies the best that we can. But I also admit that this role is new to me, so I don't know exactly what impact I can have, and I look forward to finding out. I think this is going to be one of my best steps and strategies to doing so.
Great. Thank you. Shakopee Public Schools have maintained a graduation rate that exceeds the state average. What strategies would you implement to continue this success, and how would you address any potential challenges?
Yeah, I mean, graduation, right? It's great. It's a metric that we use. Everybody uses because it's very finite. But I do think that graduation should almost be a culmination of success, not necessarily a goal. I hope that by having the whole school experience, starting from early on, a great experience for your students. If they're learning and implementing great strategies to read and write at an early level, the rest of school is going to be a lot easier. The middle school, the high school, it's not going to start in 12th grade. It starts early on. And I think that'll improve graduation rates. If you make it a fun experience or a better experience and you're not nervous or worried about being called on or your flaws throughout the school year, you probably lead to greater success, and that'll ultimately equal to better graduation rates. Yeah.
Great. Thank you. According to the Minnesota North Star Accountability System, statewide, students are struggling to meet grade level standards in math, reading, and science. Using the data provided, what can Shakopee Public Schools do to stand above other schools in the state of Minnesota?
Yeah, it's kind of a theme, right? And part of being on the DAC council this last year, albeit a small sample size, I got to preview a new math curriculum that we're about to roll out and implement. And it's hard to be wowed by a math curriculum, but I was like, this is kind of fresh thinking. I like it. And I think that it'll help kids, excel in all these standardized tests and everything else in school. And going back to it, I hate to continue down this drum, but I'm going to, and learning to read, I think at an early age and implementing some of these science-based methods will help social studies, math. I mean, if you're reading to comprehend, you're not focusing on reading and you're just comprehending what you're reading, I think it's going to improve all your testing and your whole school experience.
Great. Thank you. With new legislative requirements affecting school budgets, how would you ensure fiscal responsibility while maintaining the quality of education in Shakopee Public Schools?
That's another important feature, right? And a budget's a budget. You have to work within it. So we'll look for creative ways to use that money to impact the most important things. And to me, that's your staff, and your teachers and the curriculums that they're using. So that's part of the excitement of this opportunity, is to get in there and get a little deeper into what our budget entails and what we can do with it. I know the current group seems to really be doing a great job at that, and I would only hope to add to the team that's currently implementing a lot of this. But the budget's also the budget, right? And you can only do so much with so much money. So I feel like all of us as a community need to reach out to our politicians and legislators to let them know that education's important to them, education's important to our community, and we need more money to do the things that we need to do, especially, rolling entire new curriculums and training for teachers requires a lot of money. So Minnesota's one of the highest tax states in the country. And so you would think that we would be one of the leaders in educational funding, and we're not. We're kind of middle of the pack. So I think that's something that everybody needs to focus on.
Great. Thank you. And looking ahead, what do you see as the key areas of focus for the future of Shakopee Public Schools, and how would you contribute to their development?
Well, Shakopee is a growing community. It's great. It's fantastic. When I started, it was like 9,000 people. We're well past that. We're probably 45,000 or so. So, the beauty of that is we're growing all our traditional activities and sports and things like that, and by having a bigger talent pool and all that. But what's really cool, and I've learned in the last few years from going to meetings and stuff, is all the non-traditional activities that are out there. There's so many things that we're constantly, almost every year, it seems like we're adding a new activity that kids can do. From fishing to volleyball to some of the science-based classes. Those are things that I think will continue to grow as our community grows. Those things will continue to develop, and I think that'll just make for better students, and they'll leave here as great adults.
Perfect. Thank you. Give you an opportunity to do a closing statement and message to the voters.
Yeah, like my whole strategy or my whole passion for this is to stick to the basics. I want to come in and make sure that we're spending our money right and that we're focusing on reading and writing and things that will ultimately have the greatest impact of our students. But I love this community and I'm going to work hard. That's all I've known, being raised by a single mother. That's just what I know. Work hard to provide for your family. I'll work hard for my community the same way that I have in my personal life. And I'll also try to be as accessible as possible. So I'd like to be the voice of parents, teachers, students, of course, and the district and try to work with everybody to make this as great a place to live as possible.
Great. Thank you, Nick. The views expressed in these interviews are those of the candidates, not those of the Chamber and Visitors Bureau. The Chamber is sponsoring these interviews as a service to the community and has gone to great lengths to ensure the objectivity. The Chamber does not endorse any candidate, but seeks to provide you, the citizens and voters of Shakopee, with the information you need to make an informed choice. The Shakopee Chamber and Visitors Bureau extends a sincere thank you to the candidates. Again, thank you, Nick. We appreciate your time and your service to our community by running for office. You're performing an important service to us all. Again, thank you for joining us for this edition of Meet the Candidates 2024.
Thank you.
Thank you.